Hi everyone, my name's Mark. Welcome to today's mobility flow. Simple practice just to get moving. Great if you're working from home, need a little bit of a break at lunchtime. Don't need any props for this practice, but if you do use blocks, then feel free to have those close by. When you're ready, we're going to get started in cat and cow pose. So making your way into tabletop position. So set the hands about shoulder width apart, spread the fingers nice and wide. Knees underneath the hips, tuck the toes under. Just take a moment to settle here and really start to drop in and feel into these points of contact, hands and the feet. You may even like to start to take a few little movements side to side or a few little rotations in one direction and then in the other direction. If you've been sitting at the computer all morning, then it's nice to get a bit of movement into the wrists, shoulders, knees and hips. When you're ready, come back here to center. Take a moment to settle there. And just take a moment to connect with the breath. And so as we inhale and exhale through the nostrils, just really start to feel that length into the spine. And then on the next inhale, drop the belly in the chest, lift the chin, lengthen out through the neck. And on the exhale, round through the upper back, separate the shoulder blades, tuck the chin in. And so we'll do about 4 or 5 rounds, just moving at your own pace. And so as you do so, what you want to start to think about here is creating this movement and mobility through the spine. And so think about moving each vertebrae one at a time. And just noticing if you feel much tightness, tension or restriction along the way. So the whole idea of this practice is just to get us moving in all different directions, creating this sense of mobility and freedom of movement through the body. Good job. On the last round, come back to 4-point posture. And then from here, take the knees out a little bit wider into child's pose. So I like to have the big toes together, send the tailbone back. And if you find that you're a little bit tighter into the hips, you might even want to stack the forearms together. But from here, you want to be a little bit more on the active side. So rather than relaxing into the arms, think about looking forward slightly and reaching all the way out through the fingertips. So as we settle here for about 3 or 4 breaths, we want to focus on getting this length into the spine, opening into the hips, lengthening into the lower back. From here, walk the hands over to your right. So you've got your left hand resting on the right hand. And just take about 3 or so breaths down the left side of the body. Create this nice length and opening into the side body, the ribs, side of the upper back. And then when you're ready, come back to the center. Return to the tabletop position. And then kick your right foot out to the side into side plank. So right palm grounded. Left arm out and reaching up overhead. Let's take about 3 or 4 breaths here. And really think about creating as much length as you can into the side body. And using the breath to create that space into the ribs. Good job. When you're ready, come back to the center. And then take the knees wide again, sit back into child's pose. And then we'll go the other way. So just take a few breaths to once again find this length into the spine. Maybe look forward slightly, reaching all the way out through the fingertips. So we want to keep this more on the active side. Settle for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, start to walk the hands over to your left. So we create this length down the right side of the body. And so the important thing through this practice today is to focus on staying connected with the breath and really using the breath to create this sense of softening and relaxing into the body. You can come back to the center, tabletop position. Bring the knees back in underneath the hips and then take your left foot out to the side. And then as you inhale, take the right arm reaching up and over into this side plank. You can lift onto the fingertips or have the palm resting down on the mat. And so you might notice that one side feels a little bit tighter than the other. So just be aware of as you move through the practice today, which parts or sides of the body feel a little bit more restricted. Good job. Come back to the center. And then this time make your way into a close child's pose. Keep the toes tucked under if you like. And so we're going to take this little moon salutation, so not as intense or heat creating as a full sun salutation. So if you're in the middle of your lunch break and you don't want to break too much of a sweat, this is a really nice alternative. And so you can relax the feet down, or I like to have the toes tucked under slightly. And so as you inhale, sweep the arms out and up, raising up onto the knees. We'll move with a nice, slow, steady breath, reaching all the way out through the fingertips. Then as you exhale, come back down into this close child's pose, reaching all the way out through the fingertips. And then from there, just moving with a steady breath. On your next inhale, shift forward slightly. Bring the chest down between the hands, and then take a gentle cobra pose. Spreading this length into the spine. And then from there, when you're ready, shift back into this close child's pose. So you can keep the toes flat or tuck the toes under. I'm just going to do this 2 more times, moving at your own pace. You want to keep the breath a little on the slower side. So on the inhale, sweep the arms out and up, engage the glutes and the legs as you reach. And then as you exhale, bring both hands back down to the mats. Take a seat onto the heels, reach all the way out through the fingertips. Continue to move on the inhale, shift forward. Nice long length through the spine on cobra pose. And then return to this close child's pose. And then when you're ready, take the last round through. Use the in-breath, sweep out and up through the arms. And then as you exhale, bring the hips back down and reach all the way out through the fingertips. Shift forward when you're ready. Take a little nose dive down to the mats. Lift the chest. And then return back to the close child's pose. Nice work, everyone. Take a couple of breaths to settle here, and then when you're ready, make your way into downward facing dog. If you prefer, you can stay in child's pose. If you need to have a little bit of recovery, feel free to take any options or modifications that you need to. And so as we settle here, just take a moment to find this nice long upside down V shape. So this length from the tailbone through to the fingertips, and then this length from your tailbone down to the heels. Keep as much bend in the knees as you need to though. And on the inhale, take your right heel up into this easy 3-legged dog. So you don't need to lift too high, just focus on this length and alignment through the back of the body. I'm going to settle here for mostly 3 or so breaths, but don't worry too much about the breath. Just focus on relaxing and feeling into the body. When you're ready, step forward into a kneeling lunge. Bring the back knee down. Relax the back foot, lift the chest, find this length into the spine. Feel a little easy movement side to side, but you want to think about lifting the chest up as high as you can. And on the next inhale, sweep the arms out and up. I'm going to do a few rounds of cactus arms. So as you exhale, draw the elbows down at 90 degrees. And then as you inhale, reach the arms up. We'll do this 2 more times. So exhale, draw the elbows down, get that movement into the back. Inhale, lift, and then this time, elbows down and pause. You can either just give yourselves a big hug or take the left elbow over the right elbow into these eagle arms. If that's a little bit too much, just cross the arm over the top and give yourself a big hug here. And then slowly start to lift the elbows up. Whatever option you're in, doesn't matter. Really nice opener for the upper back. Job. On the next inhale, release the arms, big stretch up. And then as you exhale, bring both hands back down to the mat again. And then from here, tuck the toes under, lift the back knee. You can always stay kneeling if you like, into this more active lunge. Still keeping it fairly relaxed and nothing too intense. When you're ready, take a twist and rotation in, big stretch up. Create this space between the shoulder blades. Nice rotation into the body. 1 more breath, and then on the next exhale, reach the top arm forward, and then pivot around to your left side, lunge down the long edge of the mat. And so as we settle here, send the tailbone back, reach the arms out in front and take the weight onto your left hamstring. So nice deep hip opener. Relax the neck, let the head hang heavy. And then from here, you might even want to walk the hands over to your left. And see this nice side body stretch, inner thigh stretch on the front. Good job. Shift back around to the front. And then from here, we're going to step forward into a fold. So have the feet about hip distance apart, a little bit wider. And then as you exhale, relax the neck and shoulders. You might want to take hold of the opposite elbows into ragdoll. We'll keep the hands resting down on the mat, whatever you prefer. Just relax the shoulders and the arms. Take a few breaths down the back of the body from the heel up to the tailbone, and then from the tailbone all the way down to the crown of the head, circulating the breath through the body. On the next inhale, halfway lift. Then from here, step back into a high plank or a kneeling plank. Then you might want to take cobra pose, or from here, you can actually just flip the toes into this nice upward facing dog. Settle for a couple of breaths. Keep the legs active in upward facing dog. Shoulders down away from the ears. And then from there, return to downward facing dog. Take a moment to settle and arrive here. If you want to take a breath or so recovery in child's pose, feel free to drop down and relax. I'm just going to turn around the other way so you can see me more clearly to the front. I'm going to repeat all that on the other side. So when you're ready, starting in downward facing dog, left heel lifts into three-legged dog. Just a really simple flow practice, opening hips, hamstrings, side body, shoulders. Step forward into the kneeling lunge. Just want to relax the back foot down. Find this length into the spine. Lifting the chest. A few little movements side to side. And then from there, use the breath on the inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Find this length into the side body. And then as you exhale, draw the elbows down. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhale, lift, find the length. Exhale, draw the elbows down, get that movement into the upper back. 1 more time, reach, draw the elbows down. You can either just give yourself a big hug or take your back elbow over the front, should be the right over the left into these eagle arms. And then over the next few breaths, lift the elbows up, create a slight bend backwards. Just use a steady breath. Good job. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms back down to the mat. Time to twist, so lift the back knee into a more active lunge. You can always keep the knee down though if you wish. And then when you're ready, just moving with the breath. As you inhale, take a twist and rotation in. Big stretch up. Good. When you're ready, reach the top arm forward. Hands to the inside of the front foot, and then turn to your right side lunge down the long edge of the mat. And so take a moment to settle here. Send the tailbone back. Reach the arms forward and take the weight onto your right hamstring so we start to open more into the hips. You can stay square to the front, or you might want to reach over to your right. Just changing the angle slightly. Good job. Slowly work your way back around to the front. And then from here, take the forward fold. So step forward, keep the feet roughly hip distance, so just a little bit wider. Then exhale, fold forward. Relax the shoulders and the arms. Maybe take a hold of the opposite elbows if you wish. Good job. Use the breath moving through the back of the body. Relax the arms, halfway lift. Step back into high plank or kneeling plank. From here you can take cobra or straight into upward facing dog. Keep the legs active, open the chest and shoulders. Find that nice length into the spine. And then from there return to downward facing dog. Take the feet a little bit wider. Take a couple of breaths to settle here. Find this length into the spine. And then from there, slowly start to walk the hands in towards your feet. Take the feet wider into yogi squat, malasana. And so as we take a seat, lift the chest. And if you want to grab a block or something to sit on, please do so. And so what we want to do from here is just take a moment to really open into the hips. And so for the next few postures, we'll just spend a couple of minutes in each position. Take a bit of time to settle with the breath and get a nice stretch into the body. And so what I like to do with this variation is to just have the triceps resting over the tops of the knees, palms facing up. And so as we turn the palms up, it helps to open the front of the body, the chest and shoulders. So if you've been sitting at a desk all day or all week, and you tend to have that rounding forward, then this will help to open everything up. And so as you do so, just allow the tailbone to draw down. Use the breath to find this length into the spine, lift the chest. And so we're going to aim to stay here for about 2 minutes. So you've got about another 60 seconds to go. If you need to move out of the posture at any time, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, from here, what we can start to do is bring the hands down just that little bit closer on the inside of the knees. Keep the palms facing up. And you're going to start to get that little rounding and stretch into the upper back. And then one last little variation, if you have space for it. You can take the arms around, palms facing up. And we get this nice rotation into the back of the shoulders. So this one can be a little bit more challenging, so feel free to stay with any one of those options. But as we take the arms around behind, palms facing up, it gets into this rear delt, back of the shoulder. One of those muscles that tends to get quite tight and can restrict our shoulder mobility. And take another 15 seconds or so here. So if you can, just relax the head. Maybe tuck the chin in slightly. Okay, good job. And then from there, slowly shift forward. Then really gently take a seat. Extend the legs out in front. If you need to shuffle forward a bit, please do so. Then extend out through the feet. Flex the feet. Bring the hands around behind into staff pose. And so find this nice 90-degree angle into the body. So as you flex the feet, toes up, push the heels away. Bring the hands in nice and close behind the body. And almost feel like you want to push up off the floor a little bit. And so you want to create this nice length into the spine. So think tailbone drawing down, and then crown of the head lifting up. Just take another 3 breaths or so here. So think lifting up, find that length into the body. Okay, good job. All right, from here, swing the legs around to the side. We're going to go into a little seated twist. So from here, you can start by just taking a seat on the heels, similar to how we started, and then drop your body over to the left so your feet are out to the right, and then bring your right leg over the top. And so with this seated twist, aim to get an even seat, so both glute muscles down, right hand behind. Then reach your left arm up. So you want to find this length into the body. We're going to settle with the breath and take about a minute on each side. And so from there, as you twist, think about using the breath. So inhale to lift and find the length. And then as you exhale, you can gently begin to deepen the twist. But rather than thinking like you need to get to the full range of the twist and hold, think about using the breath. So inhale to lift, exhale to gently deepen the twist. And so you'll notice that the more you use the breath, the more you allow the body to relax, the deeper the twist will become. It doesn't matter how many breaths you get, just focus on relaxing, deepening the twist. Really nice to create that sense of movement and freedom into the middle upper back. Take one more breath here. And then on the next exhale, twist all the way around the other way. Just a little counter twist for a moment. Nice work. Come back to the center. And then let's change over to the other side. So come back to the middle. Take a seat and then spin the legs over to your left and bring the left foot over the top. So just take a moment to find a steady seat, even into the glute muscles, and then left hand around behind. Right arm reaches up. So find the length first. So use the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. And so keep using the breath for the next minute or so. So inhale, we lengthen. And then as we exhale, lead with the center of the chest. Get that nice movement and mobility into middle upper back, thoracic spine area. So keep using the breath to create more depth into the posture. So we use the breath to create the shape. One more breath. On the exhale, gently twist the other way. Counter twist. Good job. Come back to the center, and then from here, extend all the way out through the legs. And so we're going to take forward fold. So from here, like we did in the staff pose, but this time soften the knees. So bend the knees up. And then as you inhale, lift the chest. And then from there, as you exhale, fold forward. And you can either take the hands over the tops of the toes, or maybe take the hands around the back of the feet. And so the reason I do the bent knee variation first is so you can get this lengthening from the lumbar spine, because what will happen is if you lack the flexibility in the hamstrings, which a lot of us do, myself included, it'll place a lot of pressure in the lower back trying to have the legs straight. So from here, you might even bring the forehead down to rest onto the knees. And then over the next minute or so, I just want to think about using the breath like we did with the twist to create more relaxation into the posture. So relax the arms, try not to pull forward too much. Let's take another 3 breaths here, relax the shoulders. Job, slowly rolling up. Nice work, everyone. So from here, we're going to lie down on the mat. So shuffle forward a little bit if you need to. Find yourself into the center of the mat. And then from here, just gently roll back and bring the knees into the chest. Just take a moment to settle here. Squeeze the knees in. Just relax the neck and shoulders. Tuck the chin in slightly. And then from here, we're going to finish off with about 1 minute legs in the air, which is really nice to improve the circulation in the legs, very calming for the nervous system as well. So from here, Take the feet straight up to the ceiling. You can either stay here, you can take the hands underneath the tailbone, or maybe have a little pillow or a block, whatever you prefer. And we're going to settle here for about a minute. And so as you do so, just relax into the body. You might even like to soften or close the eyes down. As you do so, you might even notice those little sensations in the legs. And so if you do have a tendency to sit a lot through the day, this is a really nice posture to help improve circulation into the legs. Even if you just take a little quick break through the middle of the day or at the end of the day when you finish work, legs in the air or legs up against the wall if you have a wall close by. And just relax with the breath. Just allow your body to do the rest. Just take another 3 breaths here. And then slowly, if you've got the hands under the tailbone, release the hands. Take the knees a little bit wider to about shoulder width apart. Just take a few little gentle movements side to side, relaxing, massaging the lower back into the mats. I like to have the knees out a little bit wider so you don't roll all the way over to the side. And then from there, come back to the center. Extend out through the legs. We're going to finish off with about a minute or so here in a lying relaxation, which is really nice just to help the body relax and find this center and alignment through the spine. And so like you would for Shavasana, just have the feet a little bit wider than the hips, maybe out to shoulder width apart. And just make any little movement side to side. And just find that center and alignment through the spine, relaxing into the lower back. Take the arms out wide, palms facing up. Relax into the shoulders and the arms. Just take a moment for the body to go nice and heavy, switch off, release and let go of any tightness or any tension you may be holding on to anywhere. So a really nice way just to calm and reset the nervous system is we're going to take 3 clearing breaths. And so what we do is we take a deep breath in through the nose, then relax the jaw and take a clearing exhale. You can just do this 3 or 4 times in your own pace. And so when you're ready, take a deep breath in. Relax the jaw and take a clearing exhale. Just doing that at your own pace. And each time you do so on the exhale, just notice how the body softens and responds. And then after the last round, just relax the breath. Create a little bit of movement into the hands and the feet. When you're ready, bring the ankles and the hands together. Take a big stretch all the way up over the head, reaching out from feet to fingertips. And then when you're ready, bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Squeeze the knees in nice and tight. And then rolling over to the right or the left-hand side, whatever you prefer. And then gently make your way into whatever seated position. And we're just going to spend about a minute or 2 here. And so take any comfortable seat, cross-legged or kneeling, whatever you prefer. And then from here you can take the palms face down on the tops of the knees or hands on the thighs, whatever you prefer. And this will just help ground and settle into the body. You can either close the eyes down, soften the gaze, or just find a gentle focal point somewhere in front of the body. It's going to take about a minute with this gentle breath sequence to finish off with. And so as we inhale and exhale through the nostrils, I'm going to create that expansion to the belly and the ribs on the in-breath. And then on the out-breath, just have that sense of grounding and settling into the body. Start to even out the ratio to the breath, roughly 4 seconds on the in-breath and the out-breath. And you can just gently follow the breath. And this will just help to bring ourselves into this single point of focus. And so if you notice that you have a tendency for the thoughts to wander off, or you're already thinking about everything you need to do this afternoon, just gently guide the attention back to the breath. Helping to switch off from those thinking beta brain waves into more single focused alpha brain waves. Just take another 3 or 4 breaths here. And then when you're ready, let go of the breath. Just take a moment to notice, observe and be aware of how the body feels. Just notice the difference that you can create even just with a little 30-minute practice, how beneficial that can be on the overall physiology in the body, the softening of the mind and thoughts, and that gentle sense of being centered and grounded back in the body. When you're ready, you can open up the eyes. Nice work, everyone. Thanks for joining today. As always, if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out on Instagram. Hope you enjoyed today's practice, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.